Well, folks, after a long break, we are back live from Daytona International Speedway. It is time to go racing 100 laps around the circuit. We saw 3 driver changes during the break and 1 driver change earlier today. Two of the 3 driver changes happened like a few weeks ago. But if we go back to the roster thing, we have Lily Horner getting sent down to the CSKN, which she ended up winning the oval race here in Daytona. She joins Bryce Weaver in the playoffs. And we also have Heidi Miner taking Garrett Irwin's place in the 70. And just announced today, too, Case Bridge is now in the 16. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see where your most favorite... let's see where your favorite drivers are starting. In row 1, it's Aaliyah Dean, the Texas winner, and of course the F1 superstar himself, Matthew Campton. In row 2, we have Nolan Farley and the Queen of Daytona. It's Audrey Schreiner. In row 3, we have Isaac Stead and Rodrigo Patino Romo. Then we have in row 4, Jerome Lomax and Case Bridge. Row 5, Austin Horner, Bryce Pax. Row 6, it's Maya Dimmick and Lena Gilliott. Row 7, we have Kellen Sheff, last week's winner, and of course the quickest in practice. It's Quinn Sheff, last year's winner here. In row 8, we have Braden Mills and Heidi Miner. Row 9, David Loudon, Quavi Raider. Row 10, it's Jordan Lomax and Luke Dockery. Row 11, Boston Matthews and Luke Clark. Row 12, we have Eli Jackson, Skylar Naney. Row 13, Jordan Spencer, Michaela Winstead. Row 14, Riley Poindexter, Abshar Khan. Row 15, we have Allie Brossman and Jonathan Stevenson. And starting last today, slowest in practice and qualifying, it's Bailey Winstead. Well, are you guys ready for some chaos? I know I am. 100 laps in Daytona. We are green at the Daytona International Speedway. And we are already seeing some chaos on lap 1. Any Rex going down into turn 1. Yes! Around goes Kellen Sheff. Single car spin. Kellen Sheff goes around. Just a normal single car spin. So we go up front. It's side by side for the lead. Look at the pack racing behind them. It's side by side though. For turn 3 and turn 4 for the first time in a few months. Yeah, for the first time in a month or so. Contact made, and Leah Dean is going to lead lap 1 in Daytona. She's trying to finish where she left off on the ovals. Nolan Farley has already dropped back a big ton. And yes, if you're now joining us, we saw lap 1 spin by Kellen Sheff. He's back in last. But it was just a spin. Did not hit the wall too hard. He's still in the race. Almost 3 wide behind them. Matthew Campton now trying to close back in on his teammate. Aaliyah Dean, the pole sitter, has the lead. How about Hot Rod? Rodrigo Patino Romo, fast in practice. He had top 5 speed, and here he comes. Look at him, Campton. Campton to the inside has automatically caught his teammate the leader of Aaliyah Dean. Down the back straightaway on lap 3. Campton, second. Patina Romo, third. Look at Case Bridge going for 4th. Case Bridge on the top. Isaac Stead on the bottom. 2 rookies fighting, battling it out. Bridge will take 4th in his first ever race in the Crazy Sports Good League. Side by side for the lead. And F1 superstar Matthew Campton is going to take the lead in Daytona. He used the timing perfectly. He used the slipstream perfectly. Matthew Campton to the lead on lap 4. It took a bit, but yeah. But yes, now he is finally up front. Now, let's see how long he's going to hold it, though. Remember, he is a road course veteran, not an oval veteran. Campton, out of the final corner, is going to lead lap 4. He leads his first lap of the day. There's already and the first pack of cars has already seriously pulled away from the second pack. And then the second big pack is a third pack. Look at Quentin Sheff in the background. Quentin Sheff trying to move forward. He was quickest in practice. And now Matthew Campton has control of this race. Out of 4. To the tri-oval. It's lap 6. As Campton leads lap number 5. Matthew Campton, Aaliyah Dean, Rodrigo Patina Romo, all battling. Let's see where everybody else is. The Queen of Daytona herself, Andre Schreiner. And anytime we come here, anytime we come here to Daytona, we always have to talk about the 45. Or in her case, she was in the 74 when she was dominant here at this racetrack. Andre Schreiner has picked up so many wins here. Can she pick up another one? Let's go after the rookie, Isaac Stead. Farley and Gillett battling behind her. And how about Lomax there as well? And in the second pack, it's Dimmick and Bryce Pack side by side. And then another 2-car battle between Quentin Sheff and Austin Horner. To the back of the third pack, it's Aaliyah Dean who's in. Not Aaliyah Dean. It's Allie Brossman who's in last. And of course, in 30th, and of course in last, it's Colin Sheff. Back up front, Aaliyah Dean cannot do anything with the leader. It's all Matthew Campton on lap 8. If he can stay up front for the rest of the race, who knows? Maybe he could potentially find his way to victory lane for the first time and lock himself into the playoffs. And he did say too that he expects to win and have chances to win and lead live laps. That was before the season. And now here he is in Daytona leading even more laps. You saw him bridge sideways as he tried to take third. And how about 5th place? Andre Schreiner is on the move. She takes 5th from Isaac Stead. Stead gets past, but Stead coming back in the 9. Stead cannot do anything. And here comes the 45, closing in now on 4th place of Case Bridge. Andre Schreiner's speed is starting to pick up as we go through the long run. It looks like it just takes Audrey Schreiner just a bit until her car comes to life. And if it continues this way, don't look now, or she'll be up front before you know it. How about the 44, Ryan Lomax there, trying to get back to victory lane? Has not won in a while. Audrey Schreiner really has not won in a while. Her last oval win, I think, was here at this racetrack. I don't remember. It's been a long time since she won on an oval. But last season, she finally went to victory lane. She won in Germany in a crazy race. And yeah, and that was the first race at Germany. This year, there's only one race at Germany, and that is the championship race. Look at the 51 down low, battling the 65 and the 9. As the leaders have broken off from those cars behind them. The top 3, all single file. It's all Matthew Campton on lap 12. Schreiner trying to get a good run on Bridge. Case Bridge, remember, he is a rookie. It looks like that they are closing in slowly but surely on the lap car of Kellen Sheff. Looks like that the top 3 will have to pit sometime soon. As you see the 47 now starting to get some speed as he tries to get around the 50. He tries to use the slipstream, but he can't quite yet. Matthew Campton leads onto lap 13, and we will be back after the break. Let's ride along with Matthew Campton. We are back here from Daytona. Well, just like that, it was a short break. We will have short breaks in between the laps, but the reason why we are back this quick is because green flag pit stops are about to take place as we have a battle for the lead. Aaliyah Dean has caught your leader. Looks like your leader has... I think your leader is saving fuel. Yeah, your leader is pretty much saving fuel, but he does have to pit pretty soon. 4 laps left on his fuel, but Aaliyah Dean can run a few more extra laps than Matthew Campton. And another reason why I think Dean has really caught Campton is because they have caught Kellen Sheff. Kellen Sheff, a lap car. His weight is now hurting the 32's aero, and you can see the 50 closing back in that second pack of 3rd, 4th, and 5th have also caught the leaders. Let's go back to this pack. We're back here. We see side-by-side racing back there. And Campton using the bottom. Going to pit road. Kellen Sheff is as well. Aaliyah Dean to the lead here in Daytona. Side-by-side racing. Look at Farley getting around Stead. Side-by-side racing before we hit the first pack. Now the first pack of cars, they are all just single file. It's Aaliyah Dean who controls the race. Here comes the 44 side by side with the 65. Remember, when someone has to pit, they usually get squirrely on the back straightaway, and if they are side by side, that's when a wreck usually happens. The 44 and 65 still side by side for that 5th spot. Looks like that 65 will have to pit this lap. I mean, that 44 will have to pit this lap. And it's side by side for 5th. Here's Lomax. 2 laps left on his fuel. Is he going to make the trip down to pit road this lap or the next one? He's making the trip down to pit road the next lap. Look at Farley behind them. As the lap cars get back onto the racetrack, that's going to cause chaos. The 44 gets hit by the 41. Luke Clark almost just caused a major accident. The 44 is there now, slowing down on the back straightaway. Slow cars behind them. Look at the 46. Looks like that he's going to come to pit road. No, he's not. Kwame Raider is not pitting. Let's see how that turns out for him. As I think we are going to see our first instance of someone running out of gas. And now, when he starts his sputter, that is when maybe a big accident is going to be caused. The 46, oh look at the 70, and they're all wrecking on the back straightaway. Stead is on his side, he's on his roof. Isaac Stead, huge accident. Huge accident on the back straightaway. Heidi Miner, the rookie, is involved. Isaac Stead is out of the race. 3 cars out of the race. Chaos in Daytona. The 11 finally back up to speed. The 46 is stopped on the front straightaway. He's going to be out of the race. Raider out of the race. Chaos on the back straightaway. 28 cars remain in Daytona. It did not take them long. Now they finally wreck. Top 10. After that wreck, it's Leah Dean, Audrey Schreiner, the 65. I think that's the 3. No, it's a 66. Got the cars behind them. They're still racing really hard here. Look at the 16 Case Bridge. Great pit stop. Is going to be in front of the 32. Fantastic pit stop by Case Bridge. Great racing on lap 26, side-by-side racing. And we knew that once green flag pit stops hit, you would see chaos after chaos. And the 74 Stevenson is going to be out of gas. He stalls it on the back straightaway. He goes low. He runs out of gas. Jonathan Stevenson is out of the race. Aaliyah Dean is going to run out of gas on the back straightaway. At the entrance of the back straightaway. Goes low, almost caused a big accident. She is out of the race. Quentin Sheff to the lead in Daytona. He's running out of gas. Aaliyah Dean, Jonathan Stevenson, Kwame Raider, and now Quentin Sheff is going to run out of gas. 2 cars who were going to be the battle for the win is out of the race now with no gas. Sheff slowing down on the corner. He's going to slow down the 29. Quentin Sheff down on the apron. Quentin Sheff is out of the race. Michaela Winstead to the lead in Daytona. Chaos. I cannot believe my eyes. Chaos has struck Daytona once again. Rossman is pitting, which is good. But Michaela Winstead now leads at Daytona, comes to lap 30. Quentin Sheff and Aaliyah Dean, 2 of the front runners potentially winning this race, are out of the race. Running out of gas, ending their hopes of winning in Daytona. We will see a new winner this season, unless Kellen Sheff somehow comes back and wins, which I don't think will happen. How about Maya Dimick up there? Austin Horner top 10 The 3, I think, will be top 10. How about the 51? The 51 is there. Contact made behind them. The 70. What is happening in Daytona? 25 cars remain. Your leaders on pit road. Down the back straightaway on lap 2. On lap 30. Side by side behind Rodrigo Patina Romo. He's trying to win in Daytona again. Gilliott and Case Bridge side by side behind him. It's going to be 70 laps to go. Next time by, when they cross the line, it will be 70 laps to go in a top 5 right now for Matthew Campton. Great race. Lap 30 is on the board. Whew. Well, let's hope I can go back to a break. But yeah, what a turn of events that was. Twin Chef, Aaliyah Dean, 2 drivers expected to be battling for the win out of the race. That changes everything here in Daytona. Is that Kellen Chef? No, Kellen Chef is not inside the top 5. How about the 32, though? RMG Racing's Matthew Campton having a chance to win here in Daytona. More fuel packed inside of his car and in the 45. Stay in the top 3. Patina Romo, Landon Gilliott, and then Case Bridge. Great racing on lap 32 here from Daytona. Folks, we will be back after the break. And let's ride along with the rookie, Case Bridge. He has a roof cam. Pit stops will happen. Pit stops will make or break your season. Race 3 is back live on lap 48. Matthew Campson stupidly pits from a top 5 spot, and looks like that everybody will have to pit at least one more time. Look at this. Look at all the battles around the racetrack. And speaking of battle, how about this new leader in Daytona? Case Bridge to the lead in Daytona. Rookie Case Bridge for Pat Green Motorsports. $13 laps left on his fuel. When is a wreck gonna happen? Good question. Are we gonna see any more wrecks? 16 is there. The 3 outside as well. They both make contact. The 45 and 65 are there behind them. Schreiner to second. 34 laps left on her fuel. She's going to lead a bunch of laps, and we are halfway here in Daytona. Andre Schreiner in second, closing in on your leader. The 19 slides, looks like that he's coming to pit road. Good racing. Bailey Winstead. Wow. Winstead inside the top 10 is rare. Winstead pits. Here comes a 45. Here comes a 45 of Andre Schreiner. To the inside of Mills, the lap caller cannot get around him. As it is all Case Bridge on lap 51. 50 to go. The 45 slides. She's pitting with 31 laps left on her fuel. The pit strategy is crazy for each and every team in Daytona. Team Penske and Pat Green Motorsports are going to be top 2 for the teams. What a race. What are we seeing here from Daytona? We saw a Thunder Motorsports victory and an RMG Racing victory earlier this season. Pit strategy at its finest. As you see, the 16 and 22 staying out, but the 22 is pitting this time. Look at Michaela Winstead there in third. Question is, how long will Case Bridge go until he has to pit? Is this the winning strategy, or is he going to run it till the very end and run out of gas? Rich not showing signs of pitting this time. All signs now. He is not going low. He is not going below the apron. He is not pitting. As you see, contact behind them. Dockery looks like that he has gone around. Luke Dockery has gone around on the back straightaway after contact with the 15. There's Dockery right now. Back up to speed. Right in front of your leader. Yeah, right in front of your leader. The 16 as well. The 16 slows down just a bit. That should buy him at least one more lap. And the 16 ain't pitting this time either. What is happening here in Daytona? The 16 not pitting. The 24 is there. And that is Michaela Winstead. She might pit. Look at this battle. Contact made between these two. What is happening here from Daytona? 63 is pitting. Schreiner is there. It's like that we are going to see even more pit stops. The leader is not pitting with 3 laps left on his fuel on lap 55. What is he doing? Michaela Winstead is pitting. I think this is what he wanted to do. I think he is going to run it out. I think he's going to run his fuel out. But in the process, lead a bunch of laps. That is exactly what I think he's doing. He's up top. 2 laps left on his fuel. And he is slowing down because there are faster cars going around him. Here comes the 32, getting one of his laps back. I think Case Bridge is going to run it out to the very end. Bridge continues to lead here in Daytona. He has 1 lap left on his fuel. Let's see how long that's going to last. Question is he going to dive down pit road this time? The 45 takes second way. Your leader is in a bunch of traffic. A bunch of traffic in front of your leader as he is starting to slow down more and more. He has 0 on his fuel, and pretty soon he's just gonna park it. Case Bridge leads a bunch of laps late and is sputtering now, goes low, and he is running out of fuel. There he goes, he is out of gas. The 42 makes contact, the 45 there as well. 45 goes around. Schreiner goes around. She gets back onto the track with heavy damage. Anybody can run into her? No, the 42 speeds now back onto the track. But heavy damage for the 45. I think that just ended her. I think that will end her chances of winning. As now she is going to run around slowly around this track. As it's all Landon Gilliott. Then Hot Rod. Rodrigo Patino Romo. Then we get to the man, the myth, Austin Horner, past champion of this league. The Maya Dimmick. Nolan Farley. Then we finally get to Audrey Schreiner. And then Braden Mills. Luke Clark. The 24, Michaela Winstead, and Skylar Naney. But how about, let's talk about Braden Mills. Yes, how about the 3? Great race. Great quiet race. He's into 6th. As Schreiner is coming down pit road. I think Andre Schreiner's race is over now. I don't think she's winning this race. As Hot Rod Rodrigo Patino Romo retakes the lead in Daytona. He was one of those sneaky, fast drivers in practice. We are seeing how fast he is now. Next week, we are going to Sonoma. Nick Green is going to return. He is driving the 51 in Sonoma, but we know for a fact Matthew Campton will be one of the drivers to watch. Campton is inside the top 10. He is 10th. A nice solid run for Matthew Campton might pave his way. I think he's going to take the points lead tonight. Yeah, Campton might take the points lead if he finishes 10th or better. Here comes the 47. The 47 is there. Has the lead over the 65. The 45 still on pit road, going to finally leave pit road sometime soon. She's still stuck on pit road. She's going to be passed by even more drivers. Yes, her chances of winning are over. Schreiner will not win in Daytona. The Queen of Daytona ain't winning this one. Patino Romo and Landon Gilliott, 1 and 2. Schreiner coming back onto the racetrack. Multiple laps down is a 45. You can see the 14 there as well. Still multiple laps down as well. Here comes the 47. Out of turn 4. 38 laps to go. No, 48 laps to go. No, 38 laps to go here from Daytona. Laps are winding down. As it is all Rodrigo Patino Romo. Hot Rod. Looks like he has a hot rod tonight. Before we get to the checkered flag, we are going to a break, and then we are going break free through the rest of the race. Let's ride along with somebody who deserves to be ridden along with. And that is Braden Mills. 24 laps to go in Daytona. Laps are winding down, and the chances of winning are winding down for many of these drivers. Your leader is, of course, the 65, but how long is that going to last? He has to pit. Or is he, or will he pit? The 22 is there. We know that the 24 will have to pit. Your leader is pitting. Looks like that there was an accident. Yeah, the 27 is there, slowing them down. The 38 is slow. 21 cars left in the race. 13 cars finish in Texas. Less than 25 cars will finish in Daytona. Austin and Horner there in the 1. Let's see how long this will last. The 47 is there in front of the 1, of course. The 47 has a chance to win here in Daytona. The 1 gets slowed up by the 38. As your new leader is going to be that 24. Michaela Winstead to the lead in Daytona. Looks like that it will be a battle between the 47 and the 65. The 65 just getting up to speed, and he is still in front of the 47. Fantastic pit stop. Landon Gilliott has a chance to win in Daytona. Unless something crazy happens, I think Gilliott has this one in the bag. Or not. We still have about 22 laps to go here in Daytona, and we know that the cars behind him are fast too. The 47 is closing in. The 24 has not pitted yet. She's still way in front of the leaders. Michaela Winstead leads in Daytona. Runner-up finish for Winstead last week in COTA. Almost got not last week, but runner-up last race at COTA. Almost got to victory lane there. Lost on a last lap pass. And now the battle is real. Here comes the 65. He is in second. The 47 is there as well. How about the 1 closing in? The 22 has speed. The 29 is up there. The 3 is up there. Looks like that Campton will not finish top 10. Winstead finally pitting. And in a couple laps, that will bring the 65 to the lead here in Daytona. The 11 is there. Going to be side by side with the 65. That is a lap car with the 65. Might slow the 65 machine down, and it's still side by side. That sure is going to slow him down. As they both make contact. The 47 is now trying to close in. Look at the 1 as well. The 47 is there, same as the 1. The 1 still trying to get around the 27. And now, 18 laps to go in Daytona. The one side by side with the 27 might bring him side by side for second. It does. Horner's on the move. Austin Horner to second, 2 seconds back from the lead. They have plenty of time, and the leader might get to be racing against the lap car, and that could slow him down. Dockery to the inside. And the battle for second is also pretty much slowing them down, but they are now single file. That's going to help them as the 40s, as the 11 and 65 are side by side. The 65 gets passed by the 11 and is going to be side by side with the 83. He gets passed by both cars, and now the battle for the lead is on. No cars in between them. When the 47 catches the wake of the 65, which looks like that he has, the race is on to go to victory lane. Out of turn 4, 17 laps to go. It's a battle between Gilliott, Rodrigo Patino Romo, and how about Austin Horner there as well? Horner is quick, looking to win the championship once again this year. Let's take a look at the past champions. Look at Patino Romo. Right there. Great run by the 47. Looks like that Nolan Vernango won the championship last year. 2 years ago was Braden Mills, but 3 years ago it was the number 1 of Austin Horner. Horner has a chance to get to victory lane once again. Gilliott trying to get to victory lane once again as well. Patino Romo has won here before. He's trying to win. The 65 trying to win in Daytona. The 65, Pat Green Motorsports, Pat Green Racing. That 65 is strong. Down turn 1 and 2 now. Gonna be in the battle with the 83. That's gonna slow him up once more. The 83 trying to stay on the lead lap here. Trying not to lose another lap. As the 47 is now getting in the wake of the 65. The aero blocking is at its finest. 15 to go. Come to 14 to go. Out of 4, 14 laps to go in Daytona. Alright, it's time to regroup here. Let's see what's going to happen. The 1 to the inside, trying to get a run on the 47. And remember, if the 65 gets back up to the 83, the wake off of the 83 car will pretty much hurt the air going to the 65's nose. That 65 will have a chance to lose the lead. Now here comes the 65 back on the 83. Looks like that the wake is starting to slow him up just a bit. And here comes the 47. The 65 goes to the top, trying to get out of the dirty air behind the 83. Right now, the 83 is right now blocking the 65. And the dirty air from the 65 is bringing in the 1 behind the 47. Battle for second. Look at Gilliott looking for a run. He cannot get a run. He slows down, and Patino Romo is there. The 47 is there. The 1 is there. Here comes Horner, round the top, side by side for second. This is not what the 65 wanted to see. Because he knows Horner, if he gets up to him, Horner will have a chance, will be really aggressive as he is going to try to win side by side for second. And that's also another thing that the 65 really did want to see. Side by side behind the leader. But the 47 will clear the 1 and has its eyes set back on the leader. Now they have regrouped, and we are coming to 10 laps to go. Next time by. Laps are winding down in Daytona. Who is going to win here tonight? If there are pit stops, will we see a Maya Dimmick victory? Will we see a Michaela Winstead victory? Winstead inside the top 10, inside the top 5, just 23 seconds back. Braden Mills has a chance to get to victory lane. Looks like that Nolan Farley's out of the race. Yeah, Farley is out of the race. I do not know what happened to him. 10 laps to go in Daytona. If we have pit stops, I can tell you there is going to be somebody who extends their time up front. Will try to make it all the way to the end. I think everybody can make it, but there are always a few races where the leaders stupidly pit before the checkered flag. 9 laps to go in Daytona. The one thing that the leader does not want to see is side by side in front of him. The lap cars of the 11 and 63 side by side. The 83 is going to get into the wake of that, slow him down, and the 65 is going to be there. Here comes the 65. That definitely slows him. That definitely slows them up. As now the 65 gets around the 83, but the 83 is coming back. Not what the 47 or the 1 wanted to see. The 1 has lost so much ground. I'm not even kidding. The 1's gap to second, up to second, is growing. The 65 gets on the apron. He slows down a bit. Mistake by Gilliott. Look at all this racing for up front. The 83 slows down. 65 retakes that spot, and the 47 is there. Lap cars are an issue. Gilliott trying to keep the lead. Lap 94 is on the board. 7 laps to go in Daytona. Here comes the 47 now. Patino Romo gets around the 83. Does not go to the apron. He does not hit the apron. Gilliott does not. Now the 1 is going to try to pass the 83. The 47 goes low. Here comes Patino Romo. Side by side for the lead. Is there going to be contact? No, there's not. but the 47 clears. Patino Romo to the lead. 6 laps to go in Daytona, and here comes the one. Great racing here from Daytona. Here comes Horner. Gillian loses the lead, and his speed is bad. The one is there. Horner takes second, but the 65 is going back low. Horner takes second away from Gillian, and is going to clear the one. And is going to clear the 65. Pit stops might be starting to happen here. Car on pit road. Couldn't tell who that was. Battle for second once again. It's side by side. Gillian and Horner side by side for second. And Gillian retakes second. And his speed is starting to come back. 5 laps to go in Daytona. The one has lost so much ground. Look at this. Heavy lap traffic in front of the 47, and the 65 will close back in. The 47 gets into the wake of the 63, slows him up, and here comes the 65. Austin Horner, the first of the front runners to send it down pit road. What is he doing? 4 laps to go in Daytona. Look at this big mess of cars. Big gaggle of cars. In the 3 and 65 wreck. Around goes the 65. Oh, what a save. What a save by the 65. The 65 is slow. What a save by Landon Gillian. 3 laps to go in Daytona. Gillian is there. What a save by Landon Gillian. 3 laps to go. The 47 is down low. Is he going to bring it down to pit road this time? Or is he setting sail? He is setting sail. About 2 laps to go here in Daytona. 2 laps remaining for the 47. The 47 has set sail. There is no way Gillian closes back in on him unless he pits. And the chances of him pitting right now are low. He uses the top. Rodrigo Patino Romo has played this out perfectly. Late mistake by Gillian takes him out of the running for the win. White flag is in the air. One more time around. Now the one thing that the 47 does not want to do is wreck here on the last lap. If he wrecks, that's the end of his race. If he doesn't, he will win. Rodrigo Patino Romo might be the king of Daytona. His speed is unmatched at this racetrack. Patino Romo will own the Daytona track once again. Patino Romo wins at Daytona. Second win here. First win of the year. And finally, the 47 is back into victory lane. These three cars are on pit road. Why? Skylar Nady, I think, got a top 10. How about that? Top 15, though, for Campton. Matthew Campton is your... Yeah, Matthew Campton is now your new points leader after Daytona. What a race in Daytona that was. Campton holds everybody off. And what a race. Everybody, thanks for watching with the season 37 coverage of the Xbox 100 at Daytona.